Well, hello, I'm Doug Apple here at Wave 94, and it's time for another edition of the Wakulla County 4-H podcast. Dr. Rachel Pienta is in the studio with us. First of all, Rachel, this is an award-winning podcast. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh, Doug. Yes, we have been really fortunate that our podcast has gotten recognition by national, state, and regional 4-H associations. So we've been the best 4-H podcast in the state for several years. We were recognized in the southeastern United States for the podcast. And then we also were recognized on the national level by the National Association of 4-H Professionals. So that was really exciting to have our podcast be recognized as the best in the country. I recently found out that you're only allowed to win that national award in that category one time. So that's kind of sad because we would like to be the best every year. So I'm just going to say, I still think we're the best, and it's okay that we give someone else a chance to win, but it's an honor. It really is an honor to have your work recognized like that. And it's been very exciting for the youth and our volunteers to see the program get that kind of recognition.
Well, we have another episode here with the kids ready to do another interview. What do we expect?
Well, this interview, I'm really excited about it because we have a new county extension director. Extension is a partnership between the University of Florida and county government. So we function as a county department as well as an arm of the university. And so we need a department director. And our department directors always have a faculty specialty. So our new extension director, Dr. Clayton Bania, so he's the extension director and he's also the horticulture and small farms faculty person, which is super exciting because he comes to us with really great credentials. He's got a master's degree in entomology and he has a doctorate in plant medicine. He's worked in industry, he's managed farms, he's super passionate about bugs and plants, and he also has a passion for natural resources and is someone who really loves the fact that he has gotten the opportunity to move to Wakulla County that has so much to offer with rivers and forest and the coastline. Really cool. Can't wait for you to meet him. I think that you're going to be excited about him. I think everybody in Wakulla is going to be excited about him when they get to hear this podcast and then when they get to meet him in person.
All right. Well, let's meet him now vocally as we dive into this new episode.
Welcome to the Wakulla 4-H podcast, where Georgia Engage in this channel is all about youth voices, local leaders, and the programs to help Wakulla County grow, one conversation at a time. To get us started, can you tell our listeners a little about who you are and where you're coming from?
Well, hello. My name is Clayton Bania. I'm the new County Extension Director here for the Wakulla UF Extension. I was born and raised in Clearwater Beach, Florida. I stayed there for quite a few years, and so I went to grad school in Gainesville, and then I moved to Maui for a job. I worked in Maui for about 2.5 years for a big agriculture company, and then I moved back, and here I am.
Maui, Hawaii?
Yes, Maui, Hawaii.
What first sparked your interest in extension work and community education?
I was raised by an educator. My mother was an assistant superintendent, so I was always surrounded by educators with her friends. It wasn't my intention to become an educator, but I believe it's a skill set I kind of just subtly picked up. When I went to grad school, my fellowship was to travel the state teaching people about insects. I have a master's degree in entomology. And yeah, it was something that I had to learn on the job. And then I really liked it. I did a lot of work with younger children in elementary and middle school. And I really enjoyed when the light bulb moment would click on and you could see the grasping of a concept. And that really did something internally for me to make me want to continue to teach.
What roles or experiences led you to this position as an extension director?
Before I went to graduate school, I was managing a farm. And, my long-term dream in life will always be to be the farmer. But I kind of always strive to be the best. So I wanted to become like Farmer 2.0. I had some things that motivated me to get back into grad school. And then I started to do a lot of research. And that research is what gave me the knowledge to feel comfortable holding a position like this. My first professional job after my doctorate, I was a manager of a team out in Maui, Hawaii. There I learned a lot of important communication and leadership skills. So taking these experiences, I believe when I was looking for positions around, in the state of Florida, when I had moved back home, I thought I would be a good fit for this. And coupled with my, enjoyment of education, I thought this would be a really cool opportunity. And I've also been a huge fan of UF. I like being around the academic environment. I love learning new things. And so being close to institutions like this always kind of keeps you at the precipice of new knowledge and new breakthroughs.
Is there a moment or project in your career that really confirmed this is the kind of work I want to do?
Well, my dream's always been to be the farmer, but I sure like teaching people about farming. So was there ever a breakthrough moment? No. But do I feel at home and at peace knowing that this is a position that I will be comfortable with and enjoy? Yes, 100%.
What skills or lessons from your past work do you think will be the most helpful here in Wakulla County?
So one of the big things with Extension is collaboration and communication. With Extension, in my role too as the County Extension Director, it's important to work with the community that I'm positioned in. In this instance, it's Wakulla, right? There are citizens in Wakulla that are going to drive what we as Extension agents need to focus our efforts on, right? We can provide them with different resources. For example, certain things in our county particularly are the natural resources, right? How can we communicate and collaborate with the county to help the people have more access or more knowledge about these resources, right? Or how can we help the county utilize these resources in a more efficient way?
Before taking this job, what did you know about Wakulla County?
Honestly, I didn't know much. When I saw the application, when I applied, I kind of started to do my research then.
Since arriving, what has stood out to you most about the people or the community?
The closeness. So, growing up in Clearwater, it's more of a metropolitan area. So there isn't a familiarity with your neighbors, right? When I moved to Hawaii, it was much smaller in scale, very rural. And I really liked that because it was like, you go down the street and you wave to all your neighbors, there's much more like closeness within the community. And one of the things I really have enjoyed is like whenever I drive into my neighborhood now and I see people walking, I wave and they wave back. And that's kind of a really cool thing. It's something that I wanted when I was applying for jobs, was kind of to live in an area where I could feel like that closeness, part of a family, a community.
What do you think makes Wakulla County unique compared to other places you worked or visited?
Yeah, your natural resources. So over 70% of the county is protected forested land or natural resources like your springs. That is such a cool thing compared to so many other counties, right? That it's protected. So I don't know if do you guys like going outside? Do you guys go to the springs at all or you go hiking? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys do any like outdoor recreational activities too, like hunting or fishing or anything like that? Okay. Right. It's good fishing. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the coolest things about this county is that opportunity that you can drive 10 minutes and be on the water and have that awesome opportunity to create bonds with your family and friends, And so I think that's one of the things that really makes this location awesome is that we have such immediate access to nature.
What specifically drew you to the Extension Director position in Wakulla County?
One of the things that I realized in my last job in industry, at least in the field that I worked in, I was kind of siloed. And so I believe one of my greatest assets is to be creative. I think creativity along with communication are things that are going to make you stand out, right? Especially, you can learn things, but if you can't manipulate them and create new things, then you're just reciprocating what you learned, right? And that doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't innovate. It doesn't push the bar farther. In my last job, it was hard to actually be innovative without having pushback. With the director role, and especially working with the University of Florida, it's nice because they foster that creativity and it allows me to implement ideas so I can create positive changes for the community.
What about this community made you want to be part of it?
Well, like I said, I didn't know too much about it. But like I said, since being here, I've gotten to do things. Like I went to a plant bingo and I got to sit at a table with people I barely even knew. And I had one of the best times of my life. I couldn't stop laughing. My stomach hurt and I started to sweat just because it was like an energy-filled evening of just joking and laughing and trying to win plants. And so it was that type of connection and that type of experience that I think is the main reason I wanted to come here.
That sounds awesome. What excites you the most about working here right now?
It's a fresh slate, man. There's so much potential for this county to kind of make improvements. As you've seen, I know probably, I'm seeing it as an adult, but you were both born and raised here, I assume. So you've seen the county grow. 319 has gotten busy, right? Like things are changing, right? And so with these changes, it's providing new opportunities to do things. There's more funding, there's more people. And so I think what's starting to get me excited is that it's like a fresh slate and there's so much available to change.
How do you see Extension fitting into the Wakulla County community?
That's a good question. I've kind of fitting the needs of the people. As 4-Hers, what would you like to see, right? I mean, like, are there clubs that you would like to see? Are there activities you do outside of, at home that aren't a club, that 4-H, that we could implement? I know I was thinking about doing a bug club, doing a field botany course. So taking the groups into the woods and trying to find plants that, are unique to the area, or maybe searching the dirt for some bugs, maybe eating bugs. There's a whole science on entomophagy. So we can I could show you how to cook insects and eat them as different forms of protein. So what would you like to see? I guess I'll kind of put it back on you. Like, that's the whole point of the extension, I feel, is to talk to people, to kids, to adults, to find out what they want to see. And then I want to give them the tools to do that and educate them. So what are things that you would like to see?
Well, if it isn't a club already, maybe camping or fishing.
Oh, right on. Yes, I've already scoped out quite a few camping spots around the area. That would be really cool. Yeah, like an outdoor survival course or an outdoor, like, camping. Yeah, for sure.
Why do you believe programs like 4-H are important for youth development?
Oh, experience. So one of the things that I believe that I've pulled a lot of strengths from, and I tell people all the time when I do mentoring for, older adults and college students, is that it's all about perspective and experience, right? So what 4-H does for you is it puts you in different things. It gives you the opportunity to experience a multitude of different things, different clubs, different people, to go on vacations and see different environments. And all these things are impacting your mind at a crucial age of development, right? They're creating new connections within your brain, right? And all these things are going to help you later down the road to be able to critically think and appreciate and judge the situations that are going to arise to you, because you're not going to be limited to a narrow experience pathway. You're going to have a broad perspective on how to view things. And coupled with, tactfulness, professionalism, eventually when you get older, and some creativity, these are what are going to make you into the next leaders.
How do you plan to connect with local organizations, schools, and families?
By doing things like this. Like, I just got the opportunity. Now I know I should be looking into doing a camping club, right? It's about interpersonal connection and having a good time and just being a part of what our community is. So currently I've tried to get out and join some clubs. I'm trying to become a member of our garden club because, I like plants too. So it'd be really cool to go see what's going on. So yeah, it's just to integrate myself and enjoy what Wakulla has to offer and the people.
Out of curiosity, what is your favorite plant?
Oh, that is a great question, man. Okay, so my favorite flower is a hyacinth. You ever seen those?
No.
Yeah, they're kind of tough to grow here. So it's a bulb, right? So it grows as a bulb, and it needs what are called chill hours. So it needs to have a certain amount of cold temperature for it to actually tell the plant to fruit and create a flower. But when the flower comes up, it's like the best smelling plant I've ever smelled. And then one time when I was in graduate school, I ordered a bunch and I grew I think it was 56. And then I brought them into my lab, and I had professors and other students just coming into the lab just to smell the lab and then walk out, and it was a beautiful display. It was like white, almost like a black purple, and then a blue, like a lilac color. So that is definitely my favorite flower. I think it's very beautiful. And if it's a good development, it's like this long stalk with a bunch of different little flowers off it. So yeah, that's probably my favorite plant. What's your favorite plant?
Me and my family have always been a sunflower type.
Okay.
Or at least my dad's side. I really like sunflowers. I like yellow plants, so.
Okay. Yeah, I grew sunflowers this summer. It was the first time. And I did a mix, so we had purples and the dark red color. One of my favorite smells too is sunflower. Have you ever smelled sunflower? There's some varieties that have a sweet musky smell, and the morning is when it's most prominent.
No, I really haven't smelled them. I normally get the ones from the store,
okay.
Publix.
Okay. We're gonna have to grow some sunflowers, man. So I can get you. We'll have to do that too with 4-H for sure.
Yes, sir.
And what about you? What's your favorite plant?
I really like the angel's trumpet.
Okay. Another awesome plant, deadly though, so be careful smelling that one. Yeah, that's a really pretty plant though. Yeah, do they grow here? That's another thing I'm learning is I'm learning what plants actually grow. I've never lived somewhere where I have to worry about frost, so it's been really interesting. I'm supposed to teach people about plants, yet I've never lived in an area where I have to worry about freeze. So does it grow well here?
I don't really know, but we have one in our front yard, so I don't know.
Oh, well, there's an answer. It's growing well. Mom says, yeah, right on.
Will you be involved in 4-H programming, and what might that involvement look like?
Yeah, I would love to do some clubs. Like I said, I did in graduate school, I did something called Insectathon, 4-H Insectathon. So what it was 4-H students would build an insect collection. So I would love to take you out and show you how to collect some insects. And then what we do is we pin them, make them look really pretty, and then we bring them in. And then you're judged against other 4-H students across the state. There's also a 4-H like entomology game section. So there's like a test that you go in and there'll be an insect on display and you have to identify it and say what it is. Right. There's also silly games. It's called cricket spitting. So you'll have to like put a cricket in your mouth and try to spit it, and whoever spits it farthest wins. Yeah. There's entomology sections where we teach you, you know how you gotta have the food challenges, right? We teach you how to cook insects, and then you give it to judges. So whoever creates the best insect dish wins that. So yeah, I would love to do a club like that. I'm really interested in the camping stuff. That sounds really fun to me. And then, also field botany. So I think involvement would be stuff like that. And then participating in podcasts, and like hopefully being part and chaperoning and mentoring some of what you have going on right now.
Something similar, like what's your favorite plant, but like what's your favorite insect?
Oh, okay. So it's called the Luna moth. Okay, so it's a moth that has developed on its wings like kind of long tails. And these tails were an adaptation, to survive against bats, right? So bats use echolocation. So with the tails kind of throw off the echolocation, and so the bats will nip the tail instead of the full insect. And it's also this really beautiful kind of like green color. So I had a chance to grow a bunch when I was doing outreach for the entomology. And there was one point where my friend, we accidentally let them, like I grew a couple hundred of them. And so my friend had actually let them out in the lab. So there's one night we were like trying to catch like 50 Luna moths. And they're very big. They're probably like, 4 to 5 inches across, so they're not small moths. And we were trying to catch them in the room. But it's that one for sure. Wait, what about you? Do you like insects?
Yeah, but I really like I think it's called the rosemary moth, or like the rose moth. I don't really remember the name, but it's really, really pretty.
Is it native here, or is it from somewhere else?
I don't think it's native here. I mean, it's like a pinkish yellow.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
I like butterflies.
Right on, man. Yeah, me too. Have you ever seen a Hercules beetle? That's another one that is really fun to play with. That's a native here too.
I haven't seen it, but I've like heard about it and like saw like pictures of it.
Yeah, it's really cool. You ever watch like, the animal shows and you see these large, big beetles? It's the one we have here. It's like the same size. I actually grew a couple of those too. I've never been able to catch one in the wild. They're elusive, so I'm still on the hunt. But I raised a couple from somebody else I caught. And it was my first time ever holding like such a large beetle insect, and it got on my hand. And I thought like it grips, like it's very strong, like very like to the point where like I thought it was like going to pierce my skin, but it didn't. It's just very intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. It's the first time I was ever intimidated by an insect when I was holding this thing on my hand. So we'll have to see if we can catch one if we do the insect club for 4-H. I actually taught a class this past semester, and I offered my students an extra credit opportunity, and I even offered them money if they could catch me one. But they never caught me one, because they also sell, by the way. So if you ever want an entrepreneurial activity, people sell these insects for $40 to $60 a pop. Yeah.
What do you hope Wakulla County youth gain from being involved in Extension and 4-H?
Being directly involved with a college, and one as like prestigious as UF, you get a lot of opportunities, right? So like if we do this insectathon, I know I keep harping on, but it's just because of my experience, you will go and you will be at the world's #1 entomology department in the world. Like this is the world's best entomology department, and you're going to have the opportunity to introduce yourself and meet with some of the world's best scientists on this specific topic. And so being that close to, again, like a university is going to give you opportunity and perspective that many others won't get the opportunity to have.
What is your vision for the extension in Wakulla County moving forward?
I believe we need to continue to strive to work and create collaborative efforts with the county to create that direction. Some things that personally I would like to work on are creating some projects and initiatives that can further strengthen the community as a whole, that maybe UF can help do some academic insight for. And then I would also like to help some of the new homesteaders that are moved in to try to find entrepreneurial ventures, basically like side hustles, make some money off the garden, make some money off some insects maybe, because I think Wakulla has a lot to offer in terms of community engagement and community economics. So I think I want to continue to strive for that.
What is one thing you hope people will say about Extension in Wakulla County a few years from now?
All right, so I think I'm going to reword it. One thing I don't want to hear them say is, what is Extension? So that's what I'm trying to work for. I think if I can stop getting that question asked, then I think I've succeeded.
Is there anything you'd like Wakulla County residents, especially youth, to know as you start this role?
Yeah, speak up. If you have any questions about seeing certain things, having certain opportunities, like let us know. I got into this job to help people, youth included, like a lot of times youth are often overlooked, but if there are things you want to see, ideas you have, opinions you have, don't ever be scared to speak up. I would like nothing more to bring the education and the knowledge of our university to help you accomplish those things and be impactful in the community.
That's all the time we have for today. A big thank you to our guest for joining us and sharing more about what's happening with Extension here in Wakulla County.
Thanks for listening to the Wakulla County 4-H podcast. Be sure to follow along for future episodes, and we'll catch you next time, where youth lead, ideas grow, and community matters.
You've been listening to a new episode of the Wakulla County 4-H podcast. Dr. Rachel Pienta is here in the studio with us, and we're going to wrap up what we just heard. But what's your involvement with 4-H and the extension?
So I am what is known in Florida as the 4-H agent for Wakulla County. That is a faculty member for the University of Florida who specializes in 4-H youth development and volunteer systems. And that is actually a joint appointment between the Wakulla County government and University of Florida. So I'm a faculty member, which is basically like a professor in the community, but I also am part of the local community and serve people where I live, which is absolutely a privilege to do because I get to live and work in a community that I love.
And we just got done hearing an interview with the new extension director.
Yes. So Gage and Georgia, two of our 4-H members, interviewed our new extension director, Clayton Bania. He has a passion for the outdoors. He has a passion for working with youth, for extension, for the local community. He's excited to be here. I can't wait to see all the amazing programs he's going to start and everything he's going to add to our extension program. I think we're really fortunate to have him in Wakulla County, and I think that we have a lot to look forward to under his leadership. I encourage everybody in Wakulla County to stop by the Wakulla Extension office in Crawfordville, meet Dr. Clayton Bania for yourself. We are located at 84 Cedar Avenue in Crawfordville. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do have some evening and weekend programs. You might see some of us out at community festivals. We try to get out and about as much as possible. If you are a homeowner who needs a question answered about their yard, or a small farm producer who needs help with questions about your farm, Dr. Clayton Bania is your guy. You should give him a call at 850-926-3931 or stop by our office.
And Rachel, as we wrap up our time here together, tell the folks what Wakulla 4-H has to offer.
Wakulla 4-H has a lot to offer. We have community clubs on a variety of topics: cooking, archery, shooting sports, raising chickens, riding horses. We do art. We do communications. We produce this podcast. So we stay pretty busy. We have a lot of fun. We have coming up some big things. We do a prom for the senior citizens at the Wakulla Senior Citizen Center. That is one of the service projects we do every year. Then in March, we'll bring Wakulla Wonderful, which is Wakulla County's birthday celebration. Wakulla County will be 183 years old this year. I think she's looking pretty beautiful at 183. So we started that back in 2019 because the youth were looking for a project to do, and they started talking about how special Wakulla is and how much they wanted to learn about it. And as the more they learned, they said, how can we teach other people the stuff that we learned? So we came up with the idea of throwing a birthday party because prior to this, there was no Founders Day celebration. So we said, what if 4-H does it? So since 2019, we have thrown this birthday party. We've moved it around a little bit. We've done it on the courthouse lawn. We've done it as a street party behind the courthouse. We have done it last year. It rained pretty hard and we moved it to the extension facility. This year, because March weather is notoriously unpredictable, we're going to keep it at the extension facility in Crawfordville, which allows us indoor-outdoor options. It will be Saturday, March 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you go to our website or visit our Facebook page, if you want to be a vendor, you can register. Otherwise, it is free to the community. Just come. There will be food trucks, vendors, live music. There'll be a birthday celebration with cupcakes for the first 100 people. Lots of activities for kids. Just a really good time to come together. We have a 40-foot history timeline that shows the history of Wakulla County, and we bring in local historians. We partner with the Wakulla Historical Society, and they give talks about the history of Wakulla, so you can come and learn about where you live while you meet your neighbors. It's really a good fun time, so please come on out.
So how can people find more information about the Wakulla 4-H?
So there's a lot of different ways to do that. You can go ahead and just put Wakulla Extension into your search engine, and that's going to bring up the Wakulla Extension website. And on that website, we have different links. We have blogs, lots of information. There's an events calendar. You also can go to Facebook, and we've got 2 Facebook pages there, one for the Wakulla Extension office in its entirety, and then one that is just for Wakulla 4-H. And you can also call us at 850-926-3931. You also could just stop by 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Stop by our office in Crawfordville. We love visitors. We welcome drop-ins.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Dr. Rachel Pienta. And that wraps up another episode of the Wakulla County 4-H podcast and radio show.